Hi, I'm Ernie Medina with TRB, and today I'd like to talk to you a little bit about three negative aspects with regards to carrying appendix carry. In another video, we went over three positive things about appendix carry, but just like anything else, there's pros and cons to everything. So we're going to go over three things that somebody would want to know or need to know with regards to appendix carry before they actually do it. So one of the reasons for appendix carry, as far as things that you have to be concerned about, is really the comfort when you're sitting down. And what I mean by that is if you are either in a job or a position where you are seated for a little while, or you're just driving on a long drive, depending on your holster, this is not an absolute, but depending on your holster setup, it may actually prove to be uncomfortable after a while. And what I mean by that is if you are seated and you are either driving or cruising along, depending on how deep or how this holster or firearm is positioned, you're going to have that firearm digging into your thigh. Now, again, this is relative to your setup, but most of the appendix carry folks that I've encountered do not like to sit in with good posture for any length of time because it becomes uncomfortable. So if you are the type of person that either drives a long time or sits down for a long time, just consider that. Maybe take a little extra special attention towards your holster selection, so that way at least you can get comfortable while seated. Another consideration with regards to appendix carry is the clothing selection. Okay, so if you are carrying in the appendix region, depending on if it's a subcompact, compact, or even full-size firearm, you're going to have obviously a bulge or something here in your front side that if you do not alter your clothing, like let's say you're wearing a little bit more form-fitting shirts, or especially for the ladies that typically wear form-fitting type shirts and whatnot, then you're going to have to consider altering your attire to accommodate the fact that you have the firearm here. Nothing screams a gun more than a gun printing with your clothing there. So either change your attire or just make sure that you are paying special attention to how that looks, and of course you may have to alter your clothing some. The third negative aspect to appendix carry, and this is what I think is probably the most critical with regards to appendix carry, because all the other things, just like any other carry method, can be solved for, defeated, and all that stuff. So that was all personal preference. But one thing that you really need to make sure with appendix carry is that you know how to protect your firearm. And what I mean by that is, as most encounters typically escalate to firearm, not all of them go straight to gun. So if, let's just say, Stephen, my trusty TRB instructor here, is my attacker, and we go from a verbal altercation and things escalate and he gets closer and maybe there's a hand-to-hand type situation, okay, this is where being able to defend yourself and defend your firearm is a crucial factor. Because for whatever reason, if Stephen catches wind that I'm carrying in the appendix region, okay, if I have a 1 arm's length with him here, he has 1 arm's length to me, he has access to the firearm just as much as I do. Okay, so that is something to consider, that if you are going to carry in the appendix region, that you're able to defend that firearm. Now, a lot of people might be thinking, well, that firearm is concealed. How would Stephen know that I'm carrying a firearm? Well, if you have ever been into a hand-to-hand situation, a fight, okay, clothing moves around, and it could be very easy that as I'm throwing and fighting and things get pulled, the bottom of my shirt or whatever I'm wearing rides up, and just the shape or a piece of the firearm being present can clue him to the fact that I have one. Okay, so just understand that you have to be able to defend your firearm yourself. That way you can employ it. Another thing with regards to that is if I reach for the firearm, so if I have one hand out here, and of course I'm going to use my thumb to defeat my clothing, if I go here, well, Stephen is going to want to prevent me from getting a full draw. If he's quick enough, he's going to reach for my wrist and prevent me from getting the firearm out of the holster. Okay? So that's another reason with regards to appendix carry, where if this gets close in, you got to be able to defend yourself, you got to be able to defend your firearm. So just another tidbit, another thing to note, that if you're going to carry in the appendix region. So those are just a couple ideas, a couple things with regards to appendix carry. Just like we say to everything else, there's pros to everything, there's cons to everything. We just want to give you the information so you are well informed and can make some decisions for yourself. Like this video? Be sure to register and sign up for our next CCW class, and we look forward to training with you.